Hello Bookish friends, welcome back or welcome if you're new. Today we are going to do a bookshelf scavenger hunt. I got this idea off of the wonderful Ellen Catherine. She is just the most gorgeous human being. Also, she does the coolest videos. And I've seen her bookshelf scavenger hunts and I've always wanted to do one for myself. Every time I watch her video, I go along with the prompts and pick my own book to read. And I just thought it was such a cool format. I know that she says she also didn't get the idea herself, but from someone else. If you're interested who she got this idea from, you can go check her channel out. She has it linked every time in the description. And the way this works is that I have a jar full of prompts here, and I'm going to pick a new prompt, and we're going to pick our way through 10 books on my shelves. And at the end of those 10 books, at the end of the scavenger hunt, we will have one book that I'm going to read in this video as like a reading vlog type of thing. And this is all supposed to be a way to get me to read some books that maybe I wouldn't pick up otherwise, that are still on my TBR. And I will let the prompts help me choose some of them. I think there's no reason to talk anymore, and we will just start with the first prompt. There will always be the same prompt because it's like worded a little differently, but all the other ones I'm going to be picking blind. And I am so excited. The first prompt is pick a book with a cover you love and then find a book with a similar cover. And that I can do. I am a cover person. I always buy pretty books. And so it's very hard to pick which ones. But I mean, I'm probably going to do many more of these videos, so we will have time to look at most of my pretty books. But for today, I'm going to pick The Wren and the Holly Library. I loved this book as soon as I saw it, and I immediately ordered it, even though I haven't read it yet. It is stunning. So it's a blue cover with some red-orange leafery around the title in the middle. There's birds and gold foiling. Yes, I think that is what this cover is. So it's dark blue, it's got the leafage around, it's got a white title in the middle, and we're going to see if we find something similar. So again, pick a book with a cover you love and then find a book with a similar cover. Okay, I will put this here while I go look. We could take Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I feel the color scheme is very similar. Maybe we can find something better still. As a reminder, this was the first book I picked, and this is the one I'm choosing with a similar cover. It can't get much more similar than this. This is a dark blue cover with orange and reddish leaves and flowers around the title. The title is white and in the middle. I think it's perfect. I think it's absolutely perfect. I will be choosing this for the second book. And now we're going to blindly pick our first prompt. Find a book with the same mystical creatures as your current book. So I always pretty much read fantasy, so I thought this would be a perfect thing to put in. Now I have to be honest, I have no idea what this is about. I think it's about shadow magic. It doesn't have really creatures in it, but it does have people with shadow magic. I think it's just magical gifts that the people have. So I think I'm just going to go find something where one of the main characters has shadow magic. Bonus points if it's the woman who has shadow magic. I feel like there are so many books with people with shadow magic in them, and for some reason I can't think of a single one right now. If I remember correctly, Heavenly Bodies has like a shadow and a sun kingdom, a night and a sun kingdom, and the girl in this is from the night kingdom, pretty much. And I don't remember if she actually has like shadow powers, but I would guess so. Maybe. So I'm going to choose this one. If I am wrong, I apologize. This was harder than I thought it would be because for some reason, like always usually the man always has the shadow powers, and also I couldn't remember anyone except Zayden that has shadow powers. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to pick this one and we are going to see what the next book will be. It's very blue so far, the picks that I have chosen. Okay, let's see if we can take something from the bottom. Find a book or an author that starts with the last letter from the title of my current book. So, Heavenly Bodies ends with an S, so I need to find a book that starts with an S or an author that starts with an S. Preferably one that I've read. I mean, she's right here. I could pick Miss Sarah J. Maas, but do I want to? Maybe I want to do something else. I am going to pick A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley, because I read this recently and I loved it so much. This was so much fun. This was like a rom-com paranormal romance, and it was incredibly fun. So I'm going to pick this one and put it right here, and that is our fourth book. So, turn to page 50 and find a book that was one of the words from the first sentence in the title. Wait, what? Why did I feel stupid. Okay. So I'm going to turn to page 50, read the first sentence, and then find a book that has one of those words in the title. Page 50. Summon lightning or teleport something unwanted into the meeting. Damn. Okay. On the title. Do we have summon lightning or teleport something unwanted into? I mean, I guess I could probably take into. I could find something with into, I believe, and maybe with lightning. But in the title, if I had written in the title or on the cover, that would have been so easy because I definitely have some books with lightning on them. But do I have something with into? Give me a minute and I will be back. I couldn't find a single book with lightning or something or into in the title. This is a terrible sentence. I'm going to go with the as the word, which is, I know it's kind of cheating, but I just don't own anything with in those words in the title. So I'm going to go with The Night and the Moth because it has two "thes" in it. And also it is so pretty. I mean, look at this. This is gorgeous. And again, it's a blue book. Yeah, but I'm going to pick this for the fifth book in the scavenger hunt. I could not find anything else, I promise. Find a book with a similar color scheme. We have 4 dark blue books so far, and The Night and the Moth is also a grayish dark blue book. So we're going to have to find, so let's see. It is dark, it has silver, it has some blue and gray. So we are going to find a dark blue grayish cover, which I feel like they're all here. We already have a winner. Okay, so I'm going to pick When the Moon Hatched, because, especially because of the silver, it is very dark blue, gray with some silver elements, and this is the same. I feel like this is a pretty good color match, and I'm going to pick this one. And that is our 6th book. Let's go. I am so excited where we will end up at the end of this video. I am so excited because I have literally no idea. It could be literally anything. Find a book that was published in the same year. That should be fairly easy because I think it's been published in 2023, maybe? Let's see. But also, take a look at this artwork. This is stunning. I don't even know if the regular edition has this, but it's gorgeous. 2024, actually. So last year. Yeah, last year. So we need to find a book that was published in 2024. I'm not sure if this is considered cheating, but this book was first published in 2024 in Germany. And that is the edition that I have. I think the original one is maybe older, but I'm going to pick This Woven Kingdom because I loved it. It was 5 stars. It was so beautiful. That is our 7th book. So we have 3 more to go. Find a book with an author with similar initials as your current book. Tahara Mafi. TM. TM. Let's see if I have anything else with TM. We could do Trisha Levenseller. It is TL, but it's close enough, maybe, in the alphabet. I fear that we will have to go with Trisha Levenseller. It has the same letter in the first name and it's very close in the alphabet. Daughter of the Pirate King. This is a really fun, really short book that I enjoyed reading. And this is our 8th book. So this prompt will give us the second to last book. I am so excited. Okay, find a book with a title or author that starts with the same letter as your current book. I think I'm going to, this is very similar to the other one, but it says title/author. So I'm going to go with title with this one. So it's Daughter of the Pirate King. So I need to find a book with a title that's a D. So I need to find a book that starts with a D. I mean, I could always go with Daughter of the Siren Queen, which is the second book in the series. But for the sake of picking very different books, yes, we can go with something incredibly different. I rarely read romance books, but I do have Deep End by Ellie Hazelwood. I read it also, I think, this or last year, and it was fun. And this is going to give us the 10th book, which we are going to have to read. So I'm really excited what the next prompt will be. So this is going to be the prompt that will give us the last book. Reverse the page number of your current book and pick a book with that amount of pages. So let's see. Okay, so the last page number that's actually on here is actually 446. So I need to find a book with the reversed number of pages, which would be 644. And for fantasy books, that should be possible. 644, but it is a big book. This is as close as I can get. 637 pages, if you count the glossary at the end, is the closest I can find to 644. So today we are going to be reading Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. I am so excited for this book. This is incredible. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit into it and then I'm going to check in with what I thought. Future Eve checking in. I am so sorry, you guys. I completely forgot to tell you what this book is even about. So this is me checking in after I finished the book. But anyway, so this book is about a former slave. Her name is Tisana. Well, actually, when the book starts, she still is a slave. And she has worked the past few years towards getting enough money to buy her own freedom. But that kind of doesn't really work out as she planned. and her only hope is the Order of Midnight. Yeah, she flees there and she hopes that they will take her in and train her because she is part Valtane. She has fragmented skin, so she is part Valtane. And people say that fragmented Valtane can't use magic as well. And she desperately wants to prove them wrong because she is technically too old to study there. But if she proves herself worthy, and that is her entire plan, then they will take her in and then she can ask something of them because there's some things that she wants to do, desperately wants to do, needs help doing though. And so she kind of tries to manipulate the Order by being great in what she does and being like the greatest magic user ever. Yeah, and the person that's supposed to train her is Max, and Max is like a former member of the Order, and then Tisana gets dumped in front of his door. But when she fled, she had to leave some people behind, and so her entire plan is to get admitted into the Orders, to prove worthy of their help, and then to go back to her homeland, save the people that she left behind, and then destroy all slavery, basically, and destroy her former masters. And yeah, that's what she's training for. And her trainer is Max. And Max has kind of shut himself out. He doesn't want anything to do with Order business. But in the country where the Orders are, there is a war on the horizon. And they need Max. And they also need Tisana. And so the Orders have their own little plans. They have their own agenda. They have their own plans with Max and Tisana. And yeah, now back to Past Eve. I wanted to check in with you guys. I am about 170 pages into this book. And this is many tabs for me. I am insanely invested in the story. It is so hard for me to not skip on work and pretend like I'm sick and stay home reading this book, because the entire time I was at work today, I just kept thinking of this book and just thinking of how much I wanted to go home and continue reading this. Now, with my terrible luck, a friend has called and asked if he could come over. So I had to prepare some dinner. He is bringing his girlfriend and I have never met her, so I'm really excited to meet her. But that is one of the reasons why I can't continue this book today. Tomorrow is Saturday, so I will be finishing this book maybe tomorrow. As I said, I'm almost halfway through, like 180 pages, not really halfway, more like a little over a third of the book, but I am loving this so much. Tisana, or whatever her name is pronounced, I love her so much, and I love everything in this book. But especially, I love the fact that she is a foreigner. She has an accent. She doesn't speak the language very well. And it is felt, you can feel in the dialogue that her thoughts are in a different language than the things she is speaking, because she makes like grammatical errors. And at first I was really confused, but then it made complete sense. She's also a slave. My heart just broke for her in the first few chapters. Like, I knew what was coming, but it was still terrible to read, and I don't want to say too much, but if you know, you know. And I really like Max. I love how different he is, I feel like, from like a lot of other main characters, male main characters in books specifically, but also not really, but also he's a very special person on his own. And in the beginning, we get like snippets from his life in the first like 8 years before the story takes place, and then a snippet of her life 8 years before the story took place. And that lent so much to the story, I feel like, because now when you meet him and you can already kind of grasp why he is the way he is and why he reacts to some things the way he reacts. And I think this book is better for us knowing it, because we have this feeling, it makes us feel more for him. And it's not just, oh, he's rude, but in the back of your mind, you're always, this happened to him, And that totally explains why he reacts how he reacts. And it makes his character so understandable. And I love that he has this kind of cluttered cottage with lots of knickknacks that he's collecting. I think that's so charming and really interesting. And I already love them so much. For some reason, Carissa Broadbent manages to make me care about those characters so deeply in just 170 pages. 170 pages is not a long time to be already this invested in the characters. I also love her way of writing. She has a very unique writing style. It reads very well, and it's very similar to some other writing styles that I've read before. But then she has this little twist with words and like descriptions. She has this really cool way of describing certain things that every time I read this, I'm like, yes, this is what I read Carissa Broadbent for. And I love that so much. It's very visual. I can clearly see everything that's happening in front of my eye. And yeah, I'm just already so invested. I can't wait to continue reading the series. The thing is, this is the old indie book. I cannot get my hands on the second and third one. So this is probably the only one I have. Then I have the German one, which I picked in the scavenger hunt because it has the right amount of pages. I just prefer reading in English. I bought it because it was pretty. Then I have the German edition, but the second and third book of the German edition are only coming out, I think, next year, at the end of next year. And I can't wait that long. And then there's the other issue, which I'm not very knowledgeable about yet. I'm not very into that topic yet, but Carissa Broadbent republished all of these books with new covers. And I know that the first one is out already, but I have no idea if the second or third are out yet. No matter what I do, as soon as I finish the series, I feel like I'll be stuck waiting for the second and third book. I don't think I have any other way to read this, except if I read it online, but I don't have a Kindle. I am already heartbroken that I will maybe have to wait. I can already feel how impatient I'm going to be as soon as I finish this book. So I will finish making dinner and I will have a fun time with some friends. And then I will check back in tomorrow, probably. When I got, hopefully, a lot more reading done, I will probably check in another time in the book, maybe like at the 2/3 mark. And we will see. Hey guys, it is Sunday morning. The week is almost done. I was at a wedding yesterday evening, so I'm a little bit hungover and still in my pajamas, so please excuse the outfit. But I wanted to give you a reading update on Daughter of No Worlds. I am currently on page 398. It is taking me a long while to get through this book. That is not because the book isn't good by any means. It is amazing. The thing is that I can't force myself to pick it up because I am scared. This book scares the living hell out of me because I am so attached to the characters. I love these characters so much, like so much, that I'm scared to continue reading because I have no idea what's going to happen to them. Actually, I have an idea, and that's why I can't pick this book up, because it is scaring me. It is not looking good. Like, I think we got... How many pages does this have? Just over 500 pages. Like this edition, at least. I know we did the German edition. I just wanted to read it in English, which I hope you don't consider this cheating that I picked that book, because technically it's still the same book. It's just another edition with less pages. Anyway, I am loving this book so much. I love our main characters. I love Tisana and Max. I think Tisana is such an interesting character. She is so special because, you know, in most fantasy books, the main character gets like betrayed by someone or used and they didn't see it coming. But I'm not sure how best to explain it. But Tisana, she expects to be betrayed. And she knows that people don't have good intentions, like most people don't. And she just uses that to her advantage. And I love her so much. And I'm not sure what I can say without spoiling this book. But I'm enjoying it so much. And I'm so incredibly scared. Adding to the fact is that I don't have the second book. I couldn't get my hands on the second and third book in the indie published version quick enough. In Germany, the second and the third aren't out yet. So I might have to buy the republished English editions, which kind of sucks, but I will do it. Like, I fear that this is a 5-star book. I just love these characters so much and I'm so scared. I'm so scared what's going to happen. But as I said, it's Sunday morning. I'm going to go on the sofa. I'm still wearing my pajamas. I'm going to have a cozy day because my boyfriend will be gone. And I will have a cozy day of reading. So I will finish this today. This is such a breath of fresh air for romantasy, I fear, because they're both not the typical main characters. And he is kind of grumpy, but in a different way. That most other romantasy main characters are grumpy. He is standoffish and he had some things happen in the past. And he's a really solitary guy, but he develops such a soft spot for her. And he's so down bad and he's so loyal to her. They develop a friendship before they develop anything. Like, they haven't developed anything really still in this book. This is a slow burn, like a really slow burn. I fear that nothing's gonna happen until the second book. Like, we had some little moments and they touched hands and stuff like that, but nothing major ever happened, and I just love that so much. The tension between them is so good and I can't wait. I just want them to be happy, but it's the first book in a 3-book series and I fear this is going to wreck me. So I will get back to you when I finish this book and I'm gonna let you know my final thoughts and feelings about this book. I hope this won't completely ruin me. So yeah, I will be back in a bit. This is final thoughts and feelings on Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. I swore that this would be a 5-star. I have to say it's not quite a 5-star, but I still think it would sit in the 4.5-star, maybe even 4.75-star camp. There was just like a feeling missing, but the funny thing is, after I last checked in with you, I think I said that the slow burn romance is so slow that I think that I said there's nothing gonna happen until the second book because they're friends now and I love their friendship. And tell me why, I just flat out lied, because I kid you not, 10 pages later, something happened between them and it was great, but I just had to laugh at myself because I would have guessed that it would drag a little bit out, but I also see why. You know, the readers have more inclination towards continuing the series if it's not such a slow burn that nothing's going to happen in the first book entirely. So I get that. Yeah, but I think everything I said still stands and I just really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed them getting to know each other and how they developed a friendship before they became lovers. I wouldn't say that I typically like to read like friends to lovers, but this was everything to me. This was so sweet. And I also like the whole plot thing that I'm not going to say anything about because it doesn't say on the back, but everything about the plot and the characters was so unique and so interesting and so heart-wrenching that I actually couldn't pick this book up physically because I was so scared to continue reading, because I felt for these characters so much that I was so scared to continue reading. And yeah, I really liked how everything panned out in the end. I am devastated though, because I checked and I can't buy the second book anywhere. There is no possibility of me getting my hands on the second book like right now to continue the series, which I desperately want to do. I think the only option is to I think the earliest that I could get my hands on the second book is when the second book in the republished version comes out. I think either at the end of this year or in January next year, which is way too long. That's way too long. I am so invested in this series that I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. Yeah, I don't think I have any more thoughts than I already said in the check-ins. I just really, really enjoyed this. The world building in this was great. I love Carissa Broadbent's writing. It's so easily digestible, but also so unique in a very interesting way. I love how she writes romance and how she gets the feelings across, like how she does tension. Because I feel like in a lot of romantasy books these days, the tension isn't really tensioning. But Carissa Broadbent can write tension, and that was insane. And as I said, also, I really, really love that she included the different languages of this world, because also in a lot of romantasy series, I feel like the authors don't really think about the different languages that the different countries would have, and that also maybe not everyone speaks every language on the continent or wherever the story takes place. And that was really interesting to see how Tisana's language developed and how she learned the language throughout the book. That was really, really interesting. And that just lent so much more to the world building that you really felt like this was a real story, like this was actually happening. And I feel like it wouldn't have felt like this without the inclusion as much. That was just a genius idea. And I wish I could read about that more often. That was really, really cool. Yeah, so this was an amazing read. I'm so invested in a series. I just wish I could continue immediately. I can't really put my finger on what's the reason that this isn't a 5-star read. I just don't feel it. 5 stars is a feeling. This isn't quite that feeling, and that's why it's 4.5, 4.75. I'm not sure yet. Obviously, that still means it's an incredible book. I loved this so, so much, and I can't wait to see where the story goes next. But I think that is all I have to say for Daughter of No Wells. I think that is all I have to say for this kind of bookshelf scavenger hunt video. I am so incredibly glad that it worked out with such a banger in the beginning. Like, I feel now that I did this and it was so much fun and it was such a good book, I feel like I want to do this more often. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for any more bookshelf scavenger hunt videos. I have thought of some more prompts that I can put in the little prompt jar. If you have any thoughts on Daughter of Your Wells, if you have read this already, please tell me what you thought of it. And if you've already read the entire series, because those of you who were quick enough and smart enough to buy the entire series when it was still indie published should have been able to read the entire series already. I'm really interested in what any of you guys think about Daughter of No Wells. Yeah, but this is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. And yeah, if you don't know Ellen Catherine's channel, check her out. But I feel like most people know her. She's amazing. And thank you so much for watching till the end. If you made it here, and in case you want to let me know and help support me a little bit, you can leave a little butterfly emoji in the comments if there is one. And that would just really help the video, and I'd truly, really appreciate it. I can't thank all of you enough who are coming back to watching my videos. This has been incredible so far, and I'm just so thankful. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.